Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to attempt to turn an objectively horrendous solo played by yours truly into something listenable using studio magic. Before we get into it, I want to quickly let you know that I'm doing a back-to-school sale over at www.samuraiguitartheory.com. You can get my course where I teach the rudiments of music theory and how they apply to guitar for 45% off using the promo code BACK2SCHOOL. It's going on until September 16th. And look, I realize that the bulk of you are not at the age where you're going to be going back to school, so think of this as the end of the summer is getting close. That's always upsetting, so maybe this will alleviate a bit of the sorrow sale. Either way, use promo code BACK2SCHOOL over at samuraiguitartheory.com. Links in the description. Let's dive in. So I've gone and created a short, funky backing track. I'm keeping it brief because we're going to be listening to this horrible solo many times today, and if it were multiple minutes long, that would get very painful very quickly. I'm going to be playing it on my reverse body Strat because I don't think this thing sounds very good, which should add to the challenge. And I'm going to be playing it through this literal garbage amp. My dad found it sitting on someone's driveway on garbage day. Wish me luck. Here's my awful solo. Okay, I think I succeeded in failing. The backing track is in A minor, and I did my solo in A flat minor, which couldn't be more dissonant. It's all out of time, the phrasing sucks, the tone is grating, and there's a pretty serious flub note in there. I've got to say, that's some of my finest, worst work. Now, along with recording my garbage amp, I also recorded a DI signal. What's that, you ask? Well, using this box here, I take my guitar signal, which comes from this cable, I send it to my guitar amp, which we all heard, but I also send that signal directly using this cable into my recording hardware. There's a very good reason why I bypassed the amp and recorded this as well. We'll get to that later, but for now, let's just listen to that dry signal isolated. Just freaking horrible, bud. There isn't a worse guitar sound to my ear than a dry DI signal. This will be what I used to work from. My first order of business will be to get everything relatively in time. You can see in my Pro Tools session that there is a grid laid out on the screen. These lines here represent the beat. As you can see, a lot of my transients are off the beat. A transient is another word for the attack of the note or when my pick hit the guitar strings. I want these to be landing pretty close to the grid for my solo to make rhythmic sense, so let's cut these up using the splice section and move them around a little bit here. To make sure there's no ugly clicks or pops, I crossfade the two sliced up sections into each other. And voila, here's my solo after the first round of changes. Let's see how it sounds now. Still a lot of work to be done, and I'll likely be touching up some of the rhythm stuff as I go. Next up, I badly need to deal with the biggest issue here, the fact that all of these notes are wrong. To do this, we're going to use God's greatest gift to poor vocalists like myself, the Melodyne Autotune plugin. This allows me to change the pitch of the notes I played without speeding them up or slowing them down. You can see all the notes as well as their pitches displayed like worms on the screen. What I'll do is select them all, raise them up a semitone. So now my A flat solo is now an A, matching up with the harmony. Let's see how it sounds. At this point, this is significantly less horrific, even though there are still some weird computer glitchy sounds, which tend to come up whenever you do any drastic auto-tuning like this. Like I said, there was a very good reason why I recorded a DI signal. I'm about to perform a wonderful studio trick called Reamping. I'll take this cable here and plug it into one of the outputs on my recording device. That tuned and retimed DI signal that I've been working on is going to come out here, and now I'm going to send it into a reamp box. This makes it so that my impedance matches that of a guitar signal, which allows me to take a cable out of here and send it into a guitar amp that I actually like. What I'm going to do is play that signal. It's going to go through my amplifier, which is going to be picked up by a microphone in front of it, which then goes back into my recording unit, and we have an all-new reamp sound. Let's see how it goes. Whenever I do this, it kind of freaks me out. Hearing a guitar come out of my amp when I'm not playing makes it seem like there's a ghost in the room. But you know what? I ain't afraid of no ghost, and that tone is significantly better. Now comes the most daunting and tricky task, the editing. This is still a musical mess, and I'm going to need to do some serious cutting and pasting. For example, I need to cut out this ugly blorf right in the middle. I'll copy and paste the very last phrase into that spot, add a note from another part, and now I have this. I should remind you that I'm not doing any sort of re-recording. Everything I'm going to use comes from this original file. Performing all these edits is going to take quite a bit of time and effort, so let's jump ahead an hour or so and see what I come up with. I would say she's coming along nicely. Now it's time to add a bit of sparkle, also known as the effects. Now I need to fill you in on a little secret. I am by no means a competent mixer, as you're about to see. First, I'll do some equalizing, which brings down or boosts up certain frequencies. I'm lazy, so I'll just use one of the presets. Then we'll add a little compression into this stew, which essentially makes the volume more even. Again, I'm lazy, gonna use that lead guitar preset. Add some ambient reverb and a soft delay to fill up the sound. Here's a guitar track isolated with those new effects. That's about it for my bag of tricks. Let's go back and listen to that original recording and then compare it against what we have now. Night and day difference. If that first track was a 1 out of 10, I would say that I got it to 6.5, which is a passing grade even if it's not that great. Is doing this kind of thing worthwhile? Well, if you're stuck with a track that you desperately need to save for whatever reason, there's a lot that you can do to improve it. It's labor intensive, it's time consuming, and the results won't be as good as if you just played it the right way to begin with. Speaking of, here's what this solo would have sounded like if I had done it properly in the first place. That about wraps it up. Do what you will with these studio cheat codes. However, if you want to just get better at music, I always recommend learning the theory side of things. And for that, my course over at www.samuraiguitartheory.com has got you covered. In it, you'll learn common musical expectations from the ground up and how they apply to guitar. It's interactive, straightforward, professionally animated, and in it there are quizzes, practice recommendations, 10 videos, and 7 lessons. You get unlimited lifetime access with a single payment, and right now it's on sale for 45% off with the promo code BACKTOSCHOOL. Thank you all for watching. If you want to watch another video like this one, hit that link up there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for my various musical hijinks. An extra big thank you to everyone who supports my channel through Patreon. I'm Samurai Guitarist, and I will see you all again soon.